Welcome back, students. Today we will be discussing about fonts and coloring using fonts. Now, font manipulation. Before we start that, we need to understand the different units which are being used. Uh, Now, the units when we use the units for specifying the size, the shape, the width, the height, whatever we have different ways of specifying the values, and every values have a different type of unit involved with it. Now, basically, if we categorize the units, then there are two different types of units which we have. One is the absolute, and the second is the relative. Now, the general way of measuring is using the absolute, right? For example, when we talk about pixel values, then it is the absolute way of describing it. But when we tend to specify the relative means of size specification or unit specification, then we generally rely on the percentage basics, yeah, percentile basics. But apart from the pixel and percentile, there are other ways of specifying the unit values too. Now, let me give a small demonstration on that. Now, first of all, let's say we have a font size, which is very important. Sometimes we need to specify the font size. Now, I need to specify the font size of the current text, body text, right? So, when I'm doing so, I can specify it in pixels. For example, if I specify 20 pixel, now obviously this will mean something, right? So basically the size is specified in pixels, like 20 pixel is something it has expanded, and the default pixel is somewhat different, right? Every website or whenever we are running on an environment, that environment has a default font size. And when we talk about font size, then we should talk it in EM format. Rather than less, we can also specify the size in centimeters if you want. Okay, let's say if I run it, you can easily see that the centimeter is 2 centimeters, and if I try to measure it, at least you will find the measurement as 2 centimeter long for each and every characters. You can have millimeters also for general transformations. This is in millimeters. Now it's too small to understand. Now, you can either specify millimeters, you can specify centimeters, you can even specify points. For example, you say 12 points. So, this will be a general size segment. Generally, the font is of points 12, and there is a PC as well. PC is somewhat equivalent to one PC is equivalent to 12 points. So, this will be equivalent to 144 points, right? So, if I save it and then run it, it will be an extensively large pixel. But if I give it as 1, that means it will show the general format. So, one PC is equivalent to 12 points or one EM, right? See, another way of measuring, the best way of measuring is using EM. Now, EM is, if one EM specifies the size of a default font in your environment, then 1.25 equivalents to 20% increment on that particular font size, right? So, if I give it as 1.25 em, it will just expand the default size into 25%, right? If I give it as 75% increment, and if I give a full 10%, 100% increment, like instead of 1 em, I am giving it as 2 em. This is how it expands. But by default, the default size would be always 1 em. If you want to emphasize, change the color format, you can either increment it or you can decrement it. So, there are different ways of specifying the size specifications, the units, the default units would still be pixels in absolute terminology. When we are talking about uh, your absolute, now absolute will always be pixel. Okay, you can have pixel, you can have em, so centimeters, millimeters, then you have PC. These are all different formats of absolute measurements. Give a fixed measurement of your sort, right? But these are all fixed type of things. You can have points as well. Relative, relative measurements will like it would be percentage, 20%, 30%, 50%, percentage. Then you have em, if you like, em. Then you have vh. Vh stands for viewport height and viewport width. So wh and vh and vw, these are the two different width and height specifications which we generally provide for device specific uh, sizes. Like for example, I want to give the division width and height as per the mobile size. Generally, all the desktop sizes are common. But if I go for a mobile device or a tablet or a desktop, then the size may matter. So if you want to have a responsive website, then the best way of specifying the width and height is using the viewport height and viewport width. So that will be a relative category and is very much useful. Sorry, pixel also comes under relative format. So let it be like this. Now, apart from this unit size, what we have now we have to discuss about the font specifications. Now, whenever we talk about font size, we already had a basic discussion about the units, and we decided that whenever it would be font size, we can either go for points or we can go for ems, right? Now, font manipulation can be categorized into two types. One is text manipulation, another one is your basically font manipulation. When we talk about font, so there are certain things which are not dependent on the font, and those are called as text manipulations, right? Now, for text manipulation, what we have to do is, for example, if I am inside text manipulation, let's say, then we can take into consideration the following things like text decoration. Then comes text, whatever we have regarding text, like text transform, right? Then we have text alignment. Then we have what? Sorry. These can be one of the basic text manipulation concepts, right? But when I talk about no, I need to understand about font manipulations. So font manipulation can be considered about the font size, maybe. Then you have font weight, and then you have font one thing more, style. Yeah, style, and last but not the least, font family. Yeah. So these are the things which we should discuss for our own benefits, right? So let us start using the examples what we have. Now, one thing which we have is the link, right? See, this is a link. So by default, without doing anything, it is automatically giving some decorations on the bottom, underlining and all. So that is what we can do now. Dot link. I can say text decoration as none. Now there are certain things which you can do. One by one, we'll see all of them. So if I refresh it, the text decoration is removed automatically because due to this. I hope that we have specified the link here. No, we have not. So class equals to link. Save it. Come back. Refresh it. Yeah, the decoration is gone. Okay. Now there are three more values which can be set on this. A text decoration can be none, can be underlined. Previously it was underline only. So this is like underline. Then another one is called as here line through. Line through will be like cutting off that whole string. Okay. So this is line through. And the last one is overline. So let's save it, run it. So this is overline or a bar symbol sometimes. So you have four for a text decoration. You have actually four values, different types. One is none. So we'll revert back to our original one, none, because I don't want any underlines here. So none. Okay, none. So none. Then you have underline, you have a line through, and you have overline. So you can use any one for the text decoration part. Then comes text transformation. Now text transformation is something, for example, you are being said that see this is a web page and I want to convert the whole content into uppercase or into lowercase or into title case, capitalized case. So here we can use this thing, like we can specify text transform and capitalize. Now this will do, it will change each and every content into capitalized values. Every word will be in uppercase. The starting letter must be in uppercase. Either you can give capitalize or you can give uppercase. Everything will come in uppercase, or the last option which you have is everything in lowercase. And if you remove this part, then automatically there will be no transformations whatsoever. So the best way of transformation is using the capitalized segment, and that too not the whole text but part of the web page text. So for example, I want to capitalize the title. So directly you can go to this section and you can say text transform. You want to do it capitalize. This would be the best way of doing it, right? It's already. So we can do it as uppercase. So it's up to you now. Now apart from text transformation decoration, we have text alignment also. Now one thing which we must see here is, like when we are talking about a paragraph and text alignment, the default alignment is left. Now one is left, another one is right, center, this is default left, center also is there. But the particular option which I would like to discuss here is not center but is justify. Now justify is something like all the text will appear using the complete uh, width of the container. So in the previous section, you might have seen that language, this comma might have been somewhat in the left hand side. It is not utilizing the complete length, but now it is, and this will be for each and every content. For example, if I minimize, automatically you will see that the whole width of the content is being used. But if I have not given justify here, instead of justify, if I have just specified left, the default one, saved it and executed it. See, the way it is leaving this blank is very awkward, right? So I need it to fill the whole area, the complete width. So the best way that everybody should have, the text element alignment should be justified always. And sometimes we also use justify all to specify the justification for all the paragraphs what we have. So this is text align, which is also comes under text manipulation. Now whatever we discussed till now is under text manipulation. Now what we should discuss is font manipulation. Now font, before going into this font section, we need to identify and understand the basic ones instead of going for font family directly, right? Now first thing first, whenever we are talking about title, this is the title and this is your subtitle. Now everybody, the content, the font size we can enhance as 2em, right? So this particular thing, the default size will be enhanced, and for this also I would say font size to 2em. Okay. So the font uh, title, subtitle, let it be slightly bigger, 3. Let the text align be center. Okay. So this is done. Number 2, we need to set the weight. This weight is not good. See, this is lighter. I need to specify the weight of this font weight. This value can range from 0 to 800, where 0 is none. The minimum value should be 100 and must be an increment of 100, right? So if I say this one, this is the basic value. If I go to 400, this is the regular weight, and 800 is the topmost weight, right? So if I go 400 here, it's also simple. If I go for 800, now it will seem like okay, now it's bolder enough, right? So 800 is something which is the max value, 400 is the regular, and 100, 200, 300 are below regular. So you can go for 600 if you want. So let's say 600 will be my current weight. Apart from this, we need to specify the font style as well. Now assuming this hypertext markup language, this particular line, right? So if I go to this, you can see that I have added two things. One is underline, another one is uh, italics as tags. Now I need to remove them and then add an area called as span. The class would be italics. So I need to go back, italicizing everything. So dot italics, need to do something now. So font style. Now font style by default has italics as one of the value. So it is italics now. And apart from that, if I give a text decoration of underline, this will also be underline. Yeah. And if the font weight is slightly higher, 900, saved and run it. No changes done. So you can give bold here if you want. Bold, bolder. Instead of values, you can directly go for names also. But in general, 100 to 800. So we have already specified 600 here. So let it be 400. The default thing would be 400 and let this be 800. Run the code. So by default, all the values become the regular one, and simply this will become your boulder, right? Now the same thing I want in a different way. Now the thing which is left out. See, we have already gone for font size. We have gone for font size, then font style, and font weight. The thing left is font family. Now, when we are talking about font family, let us first talk about the default font family, right? So, font family, we can try out a list of font families if we want, like Times New Roman. But all the font categories come into one of the following subcategories. Either it will be a serif, or it will be a sans serif, or it will be a monospace, right? So, generally all are serifs fonts. So, serif, serif font, okay, or it can be a sans serif font. So let us go for it. Now this particular font is now Times New Roman, and the serif if Times New Roman is not found, then it will be a sans serif font. That is what it is trying to say. Now I have two options, fallback options. One is Times New Roman, second is Arial. Obviously, it will show this one. Let me remove Times New Roman from here. Let it be Arial. Now it's Arial font and then sans serif font. Now there are certain fonts which we can download from internet as well, because there are hundreds of different types of fonts which we can design, we can choose, we can set for our own purposes, right? So let us go for it. Now the area where we will go is fonts.google.com. That is the place of your choice. So I've just lost my internet now. Okay. Uh, So we have numerous fonts. This is one. Roboto is of particular type of font. Now, whichever font type you like the best, you can choose it. One, we will choose it for our own title and for our content, right? One will be for the title and the one will be for content. Okay. Lato is a good font. Uh, okay. Let us pick New Nito as one. Mhm. Let us choose one. The pixel. Okay. Now we would not download it. We'll just go for a simple link. Okay. Actually, I need the embedded statements, but first of all, I am unable to select one. God knows why. Let's say select this style. Okay. So I have this is regular 400. This is selected. Now I need to go back, and one more font I would like to have is this Roboto, and this is also I'll select one style. Regular one will be done. This is regular. Select the style. Yeah. So currently I have two different styles. One is Roboto, and Ruby Beasley. So this is the link which I have. There are two links coming here, and this is what we have to add to our file. For example, we let us come back to our code page, and here we need to add it in the link area. This is how we generally add links for HTML files, right? So I have one family Roboto, one family Rubik, but we need to use them inside our uh, code area, right? We have just extracted it, but we downloaded inside. So when I run this code, it will be available with me, but I have not yet used them, right? So that is what I have to do now. So one is Roboto, another one is Rubik Beast. Now how can we use it? It is being specified here. Font family should be Roboto sans serif. That is how I should write down in my code area. So I would like to use Roboto for content page, this area, and for my uh, title, subtitles, I'll be using Rubik Beastly, that is cursive, right? So this is also, and here also in subtitle section, or let the subtitle be the general format one. So font family, it's Arial, and comma sans serif. So let us save it and run the code. Now HTML content looks very bad. Why? Because the it is not at all fitting here. I don't know why, but this is just to signify, just to prove, that should show that you can use this font. You can use any font of your choice. Now, if I increase the font size, it may look good, but currently it is totally looking very bad. I don't know how. So let it be 7 em. Let's go for it. Still, it's not at all. No earth hanging with it. Any other font you like, you can add them. For example, what about instead of this is Roboto, open sans serif. Okay. This can be one. Mm, yeah, okay. Let this be the style. So Roboto and lobster. Okay. So let us copy this. So I'll just overwrite whatever I have here. Just get overwritten. Now save it. Go back. This is sans serif. This is instead of cursive. It could be lobster. Done. Go back. Save. Now this looks okay. Okay, this is fine. The HTML content. So once let us set this to for so this is how you can add you can new fonts to your website and use it. So I hope that you have understood how to do it. Now first there are two different points which you should understand. Number one, you go to the font external font section, you add them to the list, you copy the link and link it here on the top page inside the header section. So this is how you will do the work. Okay, and select a good font so that it looks better, and try to select three different fonts for heading, for titles, subtitles, and the body section. So then everything will be complete and good looking. In the next video, we'll be talking about the layouts, the different formats of layouts, and then animation, and then we'll end up CSS. So thank you. I hope you have understood this video.